In this video, I'm sharing my process to design creative direction, the look and feel of a brand using brand archetypes. I'm Dalha, a visionary brand designer for visionary entrepreneurs. Before we talk about the process of designing, let me define what is creative direction and brand archetypes. Creative direction is the process of shaping overall vision and style of a project. It ensures all the elements like visuals, messaging, and design work together to communicate a cohesive and clear idea. On the other hand, an archetype is a universally familiar character or situation that transcends time, place, culture, gender, and age. It is an eternal truth. You can find these archetypes everywhere, from mythologies to movies, shaping characters and stories we can relate to. And why we use archetypes in branding? Because it humanizes our brand by giving it a relatable personality which connects with people on emotional level. They make brand feels less like corporations and more like characters we can trust, admire, and aspire to. If you can see the brand archetypes diagram, there's a square inside a circle that divides the archetypes into 4 groups. First, provide structure, which includes the creator, ruler, and the caregiver. Second, pursue connection, which includes the everyman, jester, and lover. Third, explore spirituality, which includes the sage, the innocent, and the explorer. Fourth, leave legacy, which includes the magician, the hero, and the outlaw. And each of these archetypes has its own core desires and focus. For example, the hero desires the mastery, and outlaw is seeking liberation. The jester wants to dance, and the creator wants to innovate. And one more thing, each of these 12 brand archetypes also have sub-archetypes, which are the variation in these characters which we can use to further refine the brand personality. For example, within the hero archetype, you might find the warrior and the rescuer, each bringing different focus to courage and strength. Okay, now let's talk about the process to design a creative direction using brand archetypes. Step 1. Choose your brand archetype. To choose your brand archetype, you have to start with why, and you need to discover your brand purpose and mission. You can watch this video on my channel to discover your why, but after that video, you need to ask yourself which core desire from these 4 align with your brand purpose and mission. And the second thing you have to ask yourself is, what's the core desire of your ideal customer? And what is the role your brand wants to play in their lives? Once you figure out your core desire that aligns best with your brand purpose or mission, then you can choose one archetype from the group tied to that core desire. You can choose maximum 2 archetypes, no more than that. And my archetypal mix is the creator as a primary and the hero as a secondary brand archetype. Why? Because it aligns with my brand purpose and mission. And my target audience brand archetype is also the hero. So figure out your brand purpose and the core desire that align with your brand purpose, and then choose one archetype from the group tied to that core desire. One pro tip is that if you found your competitor's archetype is same as yours and it has become difficult for you to stand out, then you can choose a sub-archetype. My sub-archetype is the visionary, which is also my positioning. Step 2. Learn more about your brand archetype. Figure out what are the challenges and strengths of your brand archetype. Make a list of traits that describe your brand archetype's personality, because now that's your brand personality. My brand archetype traits are following. For the creator, my brand archetype traits are creative, expressive, authentic, innovative, imaginative, non-conformist, and non-linear thinker. Step 3. Find visual words and metaphors. Because these traits are more abstract and difficult to interpret visually. So you need to find similar or related words that are more visual and less abstract. Also, you have to find visual metaphors, which are symbols, forms, or images that represents your brand archetypes traits visually. The most common and cliche example of a metaphor is light bulb, which is used to represent the concept of idea or innovation visually. You can ask ChatGPT to give you the list of visual words and metaphors that represent these abstract traits, for example, imagination, innovation, or authentic more visually. Step 4. Find and collect visual references. Use these visual words and metaphors as a filter to search on internet. What you need to do is go to the Pinterest or Behance and search these visual words or metaphors on them and collect and save images that inspires you. Look for the photography, logos, typography, colors, textures, layouts, website, anything that helps you communicate these ideas and build a universe of graphic. If you're on a Pinterest, minimum save 300 pins for inspiration because great artists steal. For example, if I want to communicate the idea of authenticity while searching images, if an image doesn't look and feel handcrafted, raw, hand-drawn, transparent, I'm not gonna save that because that's not communicating the idea of authenticity. Step 5. Organize these visual references. Now create multiple boards in Illustrator or Photoshop and organize these images based on common visual themes. And only choose the best images that are communicating a certain idea that inspires you. Also, write a short description about this idea for the context. What's in your mind, like what this idea board is communicating and how can you use this idea into your design. Why this inspires you and how can you use this idea for your work. Step 6. Design a stylescape or a mood board. Now use these organized references to design a stylescape or a mood board to represent your idea in a more cohesive and unified way. Remember these few tips while designing a stylescape. Use a dynamic composition while designing your stylescape and create a focal point in your stylescape. From left to right, try to tell a story. Make sure everything must work together, from logo to layout, from texture to typography. Everything must communicate a specific idea or a concept. At the end, give your stylescape a name that reflects the central concept or theme of your stylescape. Congrats! Now you are ready to present your creative direction to your client for the feedback. And this is a really powerful tool because it reduces the revision cycle as it provides a clear representation of brand direction, which ensures alignment and minimizing misunderstanding early in the project. I hope you will find this video helpful. There are many other ways to design a creative direction about which I will talk about in the next videos. Now you can watch this video to discover your why you do what you do beside making money. Peace.